Podcasting, as you likely know by this point, is a ton of work. But if you're thinking there's gotta be a better way, you're right. Welcome to Podcast Workflows, where you get daily tips to improve your process, grow your show, and maybe even make some money. Each week, I also do a daily dive into the process of the world's most successful podcasters and reveal their tools, processes, and systems to help you simplify the production of your own show and reclaim hours in your day. You can improve your own podcast production process by seeing how the pros do it. I'm your host, Joe Casabona, and today we're going to talk about automation and delegation. Now, as you likely know by this point, podcasting is a ton of work. You need to launch, which is one project all on its own. But then you need to keep the show going. And for every episode, you need to research, write, or outline, record, edit, publish, and promote. It's a ton of work, especially if you do it weekly. But what if you didn't have to do everything? People often ask me how I can run 3 podcasts while also raising 3 small children with a wife who is fully employed as an ICU nurse. And well, it's because I'm a big fan of automating and delegating work. And so I want to share a couple of resources with you today, some ideas where you can take more off of your plate. My automations have saved me at least 12 hours per week in producing my podcast. So let's explore some ideas and resources for you. The first is a few ideas for automating tasks you might be doing manually. For example, if you are still manually scheduling guests, you can move that over to a tool like Calendly or SavvyCal. To take it one step further, when someone books in Calendly or SavvyCal, you can have that information automatically sent over to a podcast planner in Notion, Trello, or Airtable. If you are recording audio with separate tracks and manually combining them, you can use a tool like Riverside or Squadcast to combine them for you. Or, of course, you can hire an editor, but we'll get to that in a minute. You can even look at repurposing, which can be done by websites or services. There are lots of AI tools out now that will help you repurpose your podcast content. So that first resource is just a few ideas for automating tasks you might manually do. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be one tool that you sign up for that does the automation. I'll have a link to an article in the description for this episode. Then there's an article I wrote, which I'll also link to, called What Mowing the Lawn Has to Do with Your Podcast Losing Money. I want to tell you about the last time I ever mowed my lawn. It was a particularly rainy summer, and we were traveling a lot. It was in the middle of the pandemic, and so if my wife worked a weekend, I didn't have time to do anything except watch my children. And during the week, I was trying to make up for my lost work time. And so about 3 weeks had gone by in this rainy summer where I didn't touch my lawn. And so I had to mow it on a weekday. It was the first sunny day we had in a while. And it took me 6 hours because it wasn't just that I had to mow the lawn. I had to refill the oil and gas in my lawnmower, which wasn't equipped to mow a super long, super wet lawn. And so it kept stopping, and I kept having to clear the undercarriage out. Then I had to weed whack, and my weed whacker is also very cheap, and I had to keep adjusting the string. Then I had to leaf blow everything so that I didn't have grass all over my sidewalks. And because it was wet grass, that also took a long time. And so I said never again. And I decided to pay somebody $30 a week to mow my lawn. They do it in 10 minutes and I never have to think about it. So as you approach your podcast, It's all about spending your time wisely so you can focus on doing things that grow your show and help you make money. If that means paying somebody to edit the podcast or clip the audio into shareable audiograms, the cost is small compared to the amount of time you save and the amount of money you could make. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know, what is your favorite or least favorite task when it comes to producing an episode? You can reply to me on X, formerly Twitter, at jcasabona, or say hello on LinkedIn. I'm Joe Casabona. But that's it for this episode. Until next time, I can't wait to see what you make.